Hey guys, nice to see you. Well, today I want to talk about this guy here, Canon 80D, ATD. Kind of a tricky name to say, but anyhow, I picked him up the other day, and the reason I got it is because I'm having a couple of video shooting problems, and I'm pretty sure that this guy is going to solve them for me. So this is not going to be a full review. There's already a ton of really great reviews out there, and I don't want to try to duplicate any of that effort. I just want to give you guys a basic rundown, and then I'm going to take it out for a bit of a spin and put it through its paces and just see how well it's going to work for my needs, and hopefully you guys are going to find some good value in that. The video work for this channel is handled by a number of different cameras, and anytime I'm in the frame, it's typically handled by my 5D Mark III or my Canon G7X Mark II. I'll also shoot video with a number of other cameras. I shoot with my iPhone 8, my GoPro Hero 5, and of course my lovely DJI Spark. And anytime I'm sitting at my desk, it's my 5D Mark III. And that camera works really well for that situation. It's when I take it out into the field where it starts to kind of fall down a little bit. And that's primarily because it doesn't have a really great autofocus system for video, and it doesn't have an articulating screen. So when I'm out in the field and I'm trying to compose shots and I'm trying to make sure focus is correct, it's really difficult to do. The Canon G7X Mark II, on the other hand, I think is just a terrific compact video shooter. I think where it falls down though is audio. It doesn't capture, I mean, it's not terrible audio, but it's not great either. So in most cases I'm capturing audio separately, which, you know, it's not a deal breaker, but it can be a bit problematic and a bit of a pain in the butt. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to testing this guy out, so let's get it unboxed and get it all set up. And once I've got that done, I will switch the video over to the 80D so you guys can see how well it performs. Yeah, so let's get this thing going. So we're all set up and ready to go. I'm just gonna snap my fingers, and now we're on 80D video. Anyhow, we're done here, so I'm gonna pack up the gear and we're gonna head outside and give this thing some more tests. So yeah, let's go do that. Well, made it outside and got the 80D on my GorillaPod here. And already I can see that the face tracking is working just awesome, so things look like they're nicely focused. So I'm just gonna push on over to the skate park, and then we'll do a little bit more stuff and see how it does. And hopefully I don't die in the meantime. I haven't done this before. It was such a big rig, so we'll see. Well, so far I think everything's working really well. Just on the skate over here, I was kind of paying attention to the articulating screen, specifically looking at the focus tracking. And face tracking was just working perfectly. And I mean, the articulating screen is fantastic. I can make sure my shot is composed well, and I can check for focus and that sort of thing. One minor problem is I find I'm drawn to it right now, but you know, I keep looking over the screen. But that's going to change as soon as I get used to shooting with it a bit. But so far so good. And I listened to the audio as well, and having the Rode video mic on top, I think it captures great audio. So right away I've solved most of my problems with this camera. You know, audio was a problem on the G7, and any kind of focus tracking on the 5D Mark III was just impossible. So it's looking really good to start here. We're gonna run it through some more paces and see how she looks. Well, I think that was a pretty good first round of testing, and I'm quite happy with everything I'm seeing so far. The focus is just awesome, and I did listen to the sound a little bit too, and it sounds terrific. So I think we're gonna have most of our problems solved. Already I'm really super impressed. The face tracking, I'm looking at the articulating screen, and it just grabs me just perfectly. And that was, you know, one of the big things with my Canon 5D Mark III is The autofocus system for video is it's just no good for taking it out in the field as a one-man show and trying to get anything useful. It like makes it very, very difficult. G7 Mark II does a better job, but this Canon 80D is already, I can see, it's just taking it up a few notches, and that's terrific. That's gonna solve the problems, and that's exactly what I wanted. So up until now, the Canon G7X Mark II has been my primary on-the-go shooter. And the reason for that is it does take good video, and it has this articulating screen which is really handy for dialing in the focus and composing my shots. Really the only downside to this camera is, for me, it's the audio. The audio is not terrific, so I'm always recording separate sound. And recording separate sound with, you know, my lav mic and my Zoom recorder, it's just a bit of a pain in the butt. So now with my 80D, I can just throw my Rode mic on top and I'm good to go. So I've been testing the 80D now for a couple of days and I'm just really loving it. The autofocus is just simply amazing. The focus system on this camera is unbelievable. I mean, the face tracking, it nails it every time. The other focusing modes too, you can do really nice focus pulls by just touching on the screen. You know, I touch on one part of the screen and focus there. I touch another part of the screen and focus somewhere else. And it does these really nice smooth focus pulls to get from, you know, A to B. And that's just terrific. As well, you know, it's a full SLR, so I can take my big complement of Canon lenses and just swap out and get all sorts of different looks, and that's really, really good. So what I really like about this camera is that the autofocus system is just amazing. So right now I've got it focused on my face, and I just reach over the touchscreen here, and I drag the focus point over the coffee cup, and it does this really nice smooth focus pull to put the coffee cup in focus. Like, amazing, awesome, right? Drag it back over to my face, and now my face is in focus. And that's just something I can't do with my 5D Mark III. I mean, 5D Mark III is a fantastic camera, but it just doesn't have the autofocus system that this 80D has. So yeah, I'm super delighted about this. Well, I've been testing this Canon 80D for the past 3 days, and I have to say I'm really, really happy with it. It's a really good camera at a great price point, and there's lots to love about it. The articulating touchscreen is just fantastic. You know, I can see everything that's going on, I can compose my shots, I can check focus, and then just touching on that screen to change all the settings is just makes it so simple. This camera also does full HD video up to 60 frames per second, which is just perfect for my needs right now. I'm not doing any 4K, so everything this camera does for me video-wise is exactly what I'm needing right now. It also has the built-in mic port and headphone jack, and I have access to all the audio controls, so it's really perfect for capturing good audio on the camera. And of course it's a full-fledged SLR, so I can use my whole complement of Canon lenses, and that just gives me a ton of options for shooting with this camera. The autofocus is really, really amazing. The face tracking works just flawlessly, and you can do these really great focus pulls by just touching on different spots on the articulating screen, and that's just fantastic. Battery life is really terrific too. I added the battery grip on the bottom, so it gives me, I can run with 2 batteries, and I've been running this thing really hard for 3 days, and I've yet to charge the batteries, so that's really awesome. Typical Canon build quality, you know, really well constructed, really solid, but it's not too heavy. So when I stick it on the GorillaPod and I one arm it, it's not an overwhelming amount of camera to carry. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with this. It's solved some problems for me. It's a terrific little video shooter, and yeah, I'm just excited to get out there and shoot more video now. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Comments and questions are always welcome. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Wah!